I have to clear the record. A lot of people say that Jimmy Kimmel is not funny, but today we are going to be laughing a lot. Not only was Jimmy Kimmel just fired, and honestly, that is one of the funniest things that could have ever happened to this man, but the crash out has been insane. All of your least favorite people came together to say that it's fascism that Jimmy Kimmel got fired. Now, every person that's playing the fascism game at this point, in my opinion, every person that's playing the fascism game is literally contributing to a culture that murdered Charlie Kirk. Okay? I'm not playing the game anymore. The game's over. You're the bad guys, actually. It's not a difference of opinion. It's not an open discussion. It's not we can discuss our different perspectives. You killed the negotiator. With all due respect, fuck you. We're not playing into the culture shit anymore. We know you want us dead, and we're gonna fight. So this is what Jimmy Kimmel said.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
So that's evil. This is a man who goes onto a show that's basically funded by the government to essentially propagandize people, literally lie and make believe that this man was killed by his own fan, and simultaneously take attention away from the actual killers and, you know, celebrator fuckers in the country. All right, we have those two people. All right, we have those are two disgusting things that he just did in 10 seconds, and he was fired for it. That's right, breaking news. Motherfucker was fired. Terrible day for him specifically, and a great day for me. And this is the moment that united everyone to come together on the left and cry about fascism and freedom of speech. Last time you cried about fascism, you killed an innocent man. Are you really doing this again? We know what you are. We know you're a liar, because I want to say this as like a bit of a disclaimer. If you thought that there weren't freedom of speech, you wouldn't be talking. By the fact that you're talking, you know there's freedom of speech. You're lying, you know you're lying, but you're doing it anyway. With all due respect, those people can fucking suck a chode. Don't care. We see you. We know what you're doing. And we're no longer in this discussion phase. You shot negotiation in the neck. Anyway, I have to show you the reactions, but before that, I have to show you a little bit of Jimmy Kimmel himself. This is amazing.
Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
So, Mr. Free Expression over here, the man fighting against fascism and freedom of speech, says that unvaccinated people should die. Now, I've made it pretty clear at this point that these people hate us and want us to die and will celebrate our deaths. But you know what? I feel like it should come from the horse's mouth at this point. This is the martyr of freedom of expression, the guy that thinks that anyone that didn't get vaccinated should literally die. Yeah, I'm not going to shed tears, actually. In fact, I am going to continue doing exactly what I'm doing. Just bit of a shout out to all the people that are saying, you want to know fascism? Fascism is COVID. Fascism was COVID lockdowns, forced vaccinations, forced masks in public. That was fascism. Yeah, that was fascism. Getting a retard fired from his position is in fact not fascism, and it's honestly just a really good business move. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what else everyone's favorite martyr he's a martyr, all right? You know, the left is calling him a martyr. Charlie Kirk died. They celebrated. This man was fired for being a retard. They call him a martyr. All right, let's see what else the freedom of speech martyr had to say. This is everyone's favorite martyr of freedom of speech, celebrating Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means.
Yeah, W.
Tucker couldn't be reached
Right?
for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock
Oh,
this
you're
is.
happy about it.
Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable
Great
mother
question.
Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
Now, all the opinions you have about him are completely valid. Honestly, you have every right to have whatever opinion you want. You see, I personally have a little thing called principles. So I do believe in freedom of speech. So I personally think you have every right to say whatever you want. Now, being that I also don't want to die to a radical furry, okay? I am more than happy that you are fired for being a retard. So again, Mother Tucker over here was laughing about the delightful news that Tucker Carlson was fired for freedom of speech. And now he's crying that he was fired. I just have to show you a little bit more hypocrisy, man, because it's amazing. Absolute cinema. Jimmy Kimmel celebrating Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox, and now he's the martyr of freedom of speech. The martyr, guys. Oh, this is absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Holy, it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. What about Jimmy Kimmel misrepresenting Roseanne Barr and basically told the network to fire her?
On the subject of terrible things posted online, the biggest story of the day today was Roseanne. Roseanne, you're not going to believe this, but she tweeted something outrageous. I know, yeah, right. The president did it too. It's crazy. Anyway, ABC decided to cancel their highest-rated show, Roseanne, following a tweet in which Roseanne compared an African-American woman, a former advisor to President Obama, to an ape, which did not sit well with ABC management or anyone with a brain, really. So they announced that this first season of the show is also its last, which is a huge blow to business. I mean, we don't have much on this network. We're hoping the NBA Finals goes 11 games this year.
Yeah, so anyway, this is him basically celebrating and endorsing the firing of Roseanne Barr for making an edgy joke. She made a joke calling someone a monkey, and he's celebrating her getting fired. Now, to be clear, Jimmy Kimmel wasn't fired. Jimmy Kimmel was not fired for making an edgy joke. They fired Jimmy Kimmel because he is a dipshit propagandist lying fuck. Which is, in my opinion, a lot worse, personally, because, you know, I have a little thing called moral spine, and I think that making fun of something is not even remotely as bad as literally saying that someone was killed by MAGA, his own party, instead of saying the reality, which is that he was killed by a far-left terrorist, and we should all look over our shoulders because these people will literally kill us and celebrate our demise. In my opinion, you are a despicable shit, and also a hypocrite, which is even funnier. Oh, yeah, so all the free speech warriors were more than happy that Roseanne Barr got fired for an edgy joke, but Jimmy, this just went too far. This went too far. Oh, no, poor Jimothy Kimmel. This is truly a tragic, sad moment. Oh, what about this one? I pulled up all the receipts, didn't I? Oh, could you tell that I'm having a really good time today? This is a tweet from Jimmy Kimmel saying, live look, Trump's bathroom after he was fired and banned from Twitter. This is the president of the United States, by the way, and he was banned. Every person that celebrated Donald Trump, the president of the United States, from being banned from his primary method of communication with the American people, every single person that celebrated that is inherently the most anti-free speech bitch of all time. Not even exaggerating. But any person that celebrated Donald Trump from being banned from his number one primary method of communication with the American people, anyone, is a fascist. What can I say? You're fascists. You're all fascists. Every single one of y'all, you're fascists, and it's bad. It's bad to be a fascist, I guess. So Jimmy Kimmel, with all due respect, celebrated Donald Trump from being banned. And I don't care that he was fired. This, I think, was one of the most despicable abuses of power I've ever seen from an actual evil force. And that was Trump's ban from Twitter. I don't think we should ever let anyone forget it. No one can forget that Donald Trump was banned from Twitter. It was one of the most evil abuses of power ever and silencing of freedom of speech ever. They banned Trump. Without a shadow of doubt, anyone that supported that has zero right to ever complain about freedom of speech ever. You have unfortunately completely boycotted your ability to complain, and for me to actually care that you're complaining. Now, I'm really glad that we're doing this. J.D. Vance, of course, immediately decided to celebrate. Everyone, please congratulate Marco Rubio, the new host of ABC's late night show. I think this is absolutely hilarious. Because, you know, Marco Rubio does like so many jobs. This is just fucking cinema, dude. Oh, that's beautiful. I fucking love that. That's amazing. Literally cooking every step of the way. Big Marco. Now, I want to show you what we avoided. So everyone's claiming that Trump is crushing freedom of speech. I want to show you what we avoided with Kamala Harris. Trump dodged a bullet. And so did America. So I think it's really important to recognize what we would have been dealing with. Because, again, first I have to show... we're making fun of retards today on a nuclear level.
that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
Okay, right away.
Yeah.
There's no way to misconstrue that.
What does that mean?
Oversight and regulation for free speech is ridiculous.
Yeah, totally.
Just that alone, there's no way to misconstrue that, right? What she was saying is what I was thinking she was saying. She was saying she wants government oversight and regulation for social media. That's crazy.
She was afraid that people were going to have opinions on social media. So she wanted to shut that shit down. That's the other candidate, okay? So everyone that's sitting there shitting their pants that Donald Trump is a fascist because a guy that's retarded got fired. Any person that says that Donald Trump is stifling freedom of speech because a retard got fired for being retarded, this was the other candidate. The guy that directly said we need oversight and stifling of basic free speech and opinions on social media.
Crazy.
It's crazy for anyone to want it, because if the only reason you want it, right, is because you agree with the ideological bent of the platform, wait until someone else is in charge of it. Or wait until there's a different government in charge.
It's also saying that the very thing that Mark Zuckerberg regrets should be happening. Like, she's essentially saying, why should they have different rules for Facebook than they do for Twitter?
True.
Like, what rules? Like,
what rules?
We don't have rules. We have First Amendment rights of free speech.
Yeah, pretty weird. Anyway, I'm really glad that she said that because it's become really obvious that you guys are all fucking despicable shits. And I think that's awesome. So, make the lizards afraid again, I guess. So, again, this was the other party. All right, this was the other party. The other party is the party against free speech. But now, we have some other interesting characters.
Well, if you think Trump's upset about getting impeached, imagine how he felt the other day when Twitter announced that they're permanently suspending his account. A lifetime ban.
Until Elon showed up. All right, so again, I thought you guys hated freedom. I thought you guys loved freedom of speech. Now all of you wanted freedom of speech, right? Jimmy Kimmel got fired, and every single one of these people are crying. I can't believe they fired Jimmy Kimmel. I can't believe they fired Jimmy Kimmel. But they literally celebrate the president of the United States getting deplatformed from his #1 method of communication with the American people. Wow. Wow, look at that. Wow. So again, your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. So these guys could all fucking cry to the moon and back. So this guy says, trying to imagine the reaction of the Biden administration had demanded Fox fire Greg Gutfeld because he wasn't sufficiently sad about the assault on Paul Pelosi. Now, just to be clear, this is retarded for multiple reasons because under the Biden administration, people were literally getting banned all over the fucking place, including, by the way, me, who got community strikes on my channel for making fun of COVID, in case you were curious. Roseanne Barr, who, by the way, was literally fired for making fun of one of Obama's henchmen, said, yeah, imagine an administration putting pressure on a television channel to fire a comedian they didn't like. 4 million views, 120,000 likes, unfathomably correct, literally unfathomably correct. And of course, a lot of people wanted to point out, people in my chat kept saying that, yes, apparently Roseanne Barr is a massive Nux fan. She's replied to me saying your videos are the best thing on the internet, which again, Roseanne Barr, from one legend to another. You're fucking based as shit, okay? We love you here. We are huge Roseanne fans because you actually did get canceled. Unlike, Jimmy Kimmel, who got fired for being a retard, you actually did get canceled, and it's evil. And again, it's every single one of these people. This guy says, open up. We have a report that someone said something mean about Charlie Kirk, making believe that there's fascism. However, the same motherfucker, it's kind of weird that deplatforming Trump just completely worked with no visible downside whatsoever. But this guy getting fired, that's fascism, right? This guy getting fired, fascism. Yep, that's right. Jimmy Kimmel fired, fascism. Donald Trump getting banned on social media? Wow, this was a really good thing. I'm so happy we did it. Hasan Piker, retard extraordinaire, says every corporation is instantly folding to the administration even when it's over an utterly inoffensive joke. This wasn't a joke, by the way. This was literally propaganda and lies. The administration doesn't like. Liberals need to wake up. The fact that he blames liberals is just cinema, dude. Liberals need to wake up. We all have to fight back. Well, we saw what happened last time you fought back against fascism. You murdered Charlie Kirk. Yep, I'm really happy that Hasan's going to be going to jail. It's going to be really, really nice. These wealthy assholes aren't going to stand up for anything beyond their bottom line. Yeah, this has nothing to do with anyone's bottom line. But I agree, you should absolutely boycott Disney. This would make me very happy. This guy responds, hey, first of all, incredibly accurate. I do think Hasan Piker is going to be getting into the ass in prison very soon. I lost my 16-year-old YouTube channel during the Biden administration because I wrote a satire song mocking Fauci. And then I lost my job for not being vaccinated. Enjoy what's coming, you earned it. I don't know who this guy is, but he's fucking correct. Completely and utterly correct. Not even a shadow of a doubt, 1000% correct here. Not even a remote joke. Complete and utter accuracy. Yes, you get your YouTube channel destroyed for making fun of Fauci. You lose your job for not getting vaccinated. And these people make believe that Trump is a fascist because ABC fired a retard for being retarded. Again, this is insane. The Democrat Twitter account says, legalize commie, free Jimmy Kimmel. Y'all tried to cancel Tony Hinchcliffe for telling jokes you didn't like at Trump rally last year. Literally. They fired Roseanne off her own show. Bro, literally. Oh my God, the party of zero principles. All right, this is AOC, everyone's favorite retard. Here's what she had to say about reining in the media.
You know, I do think that several members of Congress in some of my discussions have brought up media literacy because that is a part of what happened here. And we're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you
rein in our media? Wonder what that means.
Can't just
sounds like fascism.
Spew disinformation and
you can't just spew disinformation on the media. Wow, you mean like Jimmy Kimmel saying that Charlie Kirk was murdered by a MAGA guy? How about that? Wow. All 50 of her IQ points really worked on churning that shit out.
Information. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false.
Really? Wow. Really? Wow. You mean like Jimmy Kimmel saying that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by his own supporter? Wow. You know, if they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. So Harry Sisson, a professional extraordinaire, says, we are witnessing the most brazen attack on free speech in modern American history. Literally, what the fuck are you talking about, you absolute degenerate shill? Elon, Trump, and MAGA said they were free speech warriors. It's the opposite. Also, this is Harry Sisson saying, happy 1-year anniversary of Donald Trump being banned off Twitter. Can't make this up, man. They're all dumb as rocks. I love the meltdowns. The meltdowns are amazing. Guys, we are literally in middle of fascist Germany. We are in Nazi Germany right now because a retard got fired for being retarded. Anyway, this is him celebrating fascism. His definition of fascism, at least. Harry Sisson keeps cooking. Rolling Stone is now confirming that what we all knew happened with Jimmy Kimmel's show. According to their reporting, executives at ABC and Disney didn't think Kimmel said anything outrageous, but they feared retaliation by Trump. This is an attack on free speech. Now, actually, the reality is this is not at all an attack on free speech. You see, an attack on free speech would mean that Donald Trump forced them to fire a guy, which didn't happen. What actually happened is they were afraid of retaliation, which didn't happen. So what actually is the reality, you make it sound like they were not forced to do anything and were just huge pussies. Yes, you're right. They're just massive pussies. They couldn't stand on business, and they fired a guy. Wow, that actually doesn't sound like an assault on freedom of speech at all. That just sounds like a giant vagina decided to fire their fucking retard. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, also known as another complete retard, buying and controlling media platforms. Capitalism. Firing commentators. You're allowed to fire whoever you want. Canceling shows. You're allowed to literally cancel any show that you want. These aren't coincidences. Yeah, I agree. Government stopped funding you guys with this heinous corporation bullshit, and all of a sudden you lost funding. You have to fire all your retards. No, we know. No, we know, actually. Yes, actually, you're right. You're right, they're not coincidences. You're no longer getting any government funding for retarded bullshit that you were able to get for years, and all of a sudden you're out of money and everyone's getting fired. Yeah, it's coordinated. Yeah, it's dangerous. No, it's actually wonderful. It's actually wonderful. You could try. You're gonna drum up your fucking sympathy shit for your 2028 presidential run, but no, this is amazing. Again, this is after years of them doing censorship. The GOP does not believe in free speech. Again, this is just the classic fear-mongering bullshit. They are censoring you in real time. No, they're really not, actually. They're not censoring anyone in real time. No one's getting censored. You know how I know no one's getting censored? Because Gavin Newsom was able to tweet this. If there was real Real issues here. Gavin Newsom will not be able to tweet like this. Interestingly enough, he is able to tweet like this, which means that free speech is literally real. So anyway, this is MSNBC's Chris Haynes on Kimmel getting fired. And this is Chris Hayes on Tucker getting fired.
ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air indefinitely. And this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless. So it was for the journeyman cable news host Tucker Carlson, just fired from his third network. He believed he could say anything, no matter how vile, no matter how disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter how dehumanizing or belittling. If you act like a sociopath over and over and over and over,
right,
you will become unpopular on the national stage. That's just like a basic principle. Over time, probably not going to work out well for you in the long run. Eventually, people will be rightly offended, disgusted by it. ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed.
Wow, very ballsy of him to say this on the news when Trump is literally coming after freedom of speech. Do we recognize what the game that's being played? Do we realize that this is what's happening? The only way you can engage with these people is not playing the game. Literally, fuck you, shut the shit up, I don't care what you have to say, you're retarded. These are the only correct responses. Actually engaging in this conversation, just engaging means you're losing. This should not even be engaged with, dude. You're completely insane. So again, Jimmy Kimmel getting fired, yeah, that's not, first of all, he wasn't fired by Trump. Second of all, it's not an assault on freedom of speech. And third of all, you literally supported cancel culture for offensive things that Tucker Carlson said. Now, I'm like, dude, I'm not even like a big Tucker Carlson fan. This is the craziest part. Like, but literally, shut the hell up, man. literally, freedom of speech is amazing because these people could all contradict all the things that they say themselves. It's absolute cinema, dude. So Tucker Carlson, retard, sure, whatever you want to call him. I don't care. I actually believe in freedom of speech. You were more than happy celebrating that he got fired because he said vile, offensive things. But it's fascism when Jimmy Kimmel gets fired? Really? Jimmy Kimmel gets fired and it's fascism, assault on free speech? By the way, all of these terms, they didn't learn anything. So every single one of these leftists that say, hey, we need both sides to turn down the temperature after Charlie Kirk died? No. No, we don't, obviously, because you're still calling us Nazis and fascists and Hitlers and saying that it's an assault on freedom of speech. You're still doing that. You didn't learn your lesson from an innocent man dying, but we learned ours. We learned our lesson. You didn't learn yours, but we did. We learned ours. We recognize the evil and cancer in our country. Unfortunately, we have to fight back. So this guy, Kevin Schroff, says, yeah, so I'm going to keep using that word, forcible suppression of opposition for fascism. Anyway, same fuck said, deplatforming Trump really worked, and the fact that big tech waited for him to lose power should not be forgotten. They should have banned him earlier, this guy says. Kevin Schroff says they should have banned him earlier. That's right. They should have banned him immediately to forcibly suppress the opposition. Oh, you're advocating for fascism. They're all like this, all of them. That's why, and now to be clear, I don't want to say, and this is very important, I don't want to say that some leftists are retarded. I don't want to do that. I want to say all the leftists are retarded. I think it's becoming, it's universal level of retardation here. Now, I know that I shouldn't over-categorize people, but I am going to over-categorize people, actually. Every single one of them celebrated Trump getting banned on Twitter. All of them. I'll be real. Your words mean nothing anymore. Hasan, this is the tweet I showed before of him crying and complaining. Every corporation is instantly folding to the administration, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe they fired Jimmy Kimmel, blah, 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 blah. Except, Chank says, Hasan's retarded uncle said this, I can't believe Megyn Kelly was fired. I 100% disagree with the decision, whatever, etc. Megyn Kelly was a fired right-wing lady. She was fired. Response by Hasan, this ain't it, chief. In other words, he does support Megyn Kelly getting fired. Wow, Hasan, that kind of sounds like fascism. That sounds like fascism, Hasan. Crazy. Firing Megyn Kelly, that's fascism. But Hasan supports fascism, I guess. I guess he's a Nazi. I guess Hasan Piker's a Nazi, actually. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, so this is the White House saying, I'm pleased to inform many USA patriots I am designating Antifa a terrorist organization. We're going to be showing you this later. But the point is, and this is amazing, this is AOC, everyone's favorite retard that says we need to rein in the media. This is her, because she's obviously crying at the attack on free speech that we're having right now. This is what she had to say about Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Oh, suppression
What
of
I
the
will
opposition.
say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country.
I actually don't feel bad for you at all. At all, actually. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Literally don't care. I get death threats every day. Y'all have been calling us fucking Nazis and fascists. I actually don't care. Turns out.
I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene.
Yeah, it's like, dude, Tucker Carlson gets fired. AOC most affected.
At the end of a Marvel movie, after all the credits have rolled, and then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge
Look how much she's
out to
celebrating.
grip over like the end of a building or something.
Right.
But deplatforming works.
Oh, does it now? Oh, does it now? Wow, that sounds like fascism.
It is important, and there you go.
All right, so deplatforming works and is important. That's what I am talking about. All right, deplatforming actually does in fact work and is important. Really glad that we were able to get to this point. Wow, damn, that's crazy. You're a retarded fascist, it turns out. Wow, you're a fascist that hates free speech. I don't think you should have a right to vote in this country, honestly, if you hate free speech so badly. Imagine thinking that someone that clearly hates the First Amendment should even have the right to vote. I think we need to immediately remove voting rights for all of the people that are fascists. And my understanding and definition of fascism is anyone that celebrated Donald Trump getting banned off Twitter. That's what I think. Yep. Remove the vote. Remove her vote. I think she shouldn't be allowed to vote. So this is the anonymous retard Twitter account who's been cooking lately, saying you are being manipulated by a far right-wing echo chamber. Elon Musk has reconfigured the algorithm to push far right-wing ideologies. It's openly embracing far-right fascist groups in Europe to promote fascist ideology. You're going to lose all of your freedoms. Anyway, this is the same anonymous Twitter account that said this. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Wow. If you disrupt someone else's life, make their life a living hell, you get what you deserve. Yeah. Actually true, by the way. Yeah. Wow. Crazy how that happens to you guys. Damn, it really is incredibly shitty when that happens to you. Wow. Wow. That's fucked up. That's fucking crazy. Wow. Dude, I just love it. I have infinite receipts. So CNN has been kind of popping off about all of this. I have to say, CNN is, they've been cooking. So, I think this was a pretty good way that it was phrased by this guy on CNN.
You use the phrase propaganda, Professor, and I just have to ask you, what do you consider what Jimmy Kimmel was doing every night or what Stephen Colbert was doing by having on only Democratic guests?
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel Monday night flat lied about the shooter. Back in the spring, he egged his audience on in cheering on the violence against and wanting, kind of wishing, I think, the downfall of a publicly traded company, Tesla. Do you consider that to be propaganda? Is it good for a business?
Do you consider that to be free speech, Scott?
You use the
incitement of violence is not free speech. That's one. And two, they have every right to fire him.
Phrase
I'm asking you. You used the words free speech before. Do you consider that free speech?
I consider it to be speech, and he's obviously free to say it.
Will you defend that speech?
Bro, he's not in fucking jail. These people are so unbelievably cringe. It's unreal. He's not in jail. Okay? He is not in prison. Like, dude, what are we fucking doing? He's not in prison. Is he in prison? I don't see him in prison. He was fired. Everyone could fire their employee if their employee is a retarded bitch that's inciting their audience to fucking destroy Teslas.
In this country that will defend to the death the speech of others, will you defend Jimmy Kimmel's speech?
You know, I'm just gonna say this because I find it like unbelievably disingenuous every time. I only know of one man that was murdered for freedom of speech. I only know of one guy that was killed for freedom of speech. It was Charlie Kirk. Okay? It wasn't fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Like, literally, get your head out of your ass. Unbelievable.
Do I defend Jimmy Kimmel going on television and saying that a shooter from the left...
You defend his right to do so.
He has a right to do so, but he does not have a right to have a television show
That's
where
right.
he lies his ass off to the American...
Bro, literally, you don't have a right to keep your job if you're completely incompetent, retarded, and a propagandist.
All right, people and attacks that country on a nightly basis.
Whoa. Hold on.
Scott, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know here. You sometimes offend people. I hear about it.
What?
Do you think that you should then be held to the same standard that you're asking for, that if someone says that you're offensive, that you're not doing civic discourse, that CNN should kick you off? I'm not worried about you and that happening to you in the present regime, but I am worried about other people in this building.
Two things. We don't fall under the same statutory regime. A. B. I expect to get fired every day. This is a tough business. And if I were Jimmy Kimmel, I mean, I'm surprised that a guy who once wore blackface and caused large-breasted women to jump on trampolines lasted this long in the media business to begin with.
Shit.
He was long past his sell date, and the fact that he couldn't realize that and was going down this road of partisan hackery, being unfunny and demonizing.
Yeah, so anyway, it really is a open and shut closed. It's a closed case. It really is. Like, to be fair, if he would have said the N-word, they would have tried to get him canceled. The only reason why they're crying is because they took a colossal fucking L, and clearly the culture is in the favor of us. We are the cultural strength in America for the first time in a long time. And realistically, they're scared. They're scared. They're sad. They don't like it. So here's retard on CNN. All right, Eric Swalwell, epic retard. So this is awesome. I love the way they're framing it every time.
Congressman, I see you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
All right, so this is a congressman who goes on CNN wearing a Jimmy Kimmel hat, right? Again, they're making him like some sort of martyr for free speech. We have a martyr for free speech. It's not Jimmy Kimmel.
You're damn right I am, John.
So brave.
Was a
so
guest
brave.
on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He, every night, has a right to come into any house that wants to watch.
He has a right to come into any house he wants to watch? He has a right to a TV show? Oh, this is like a supremely leftist ideal. That you have a right to be the host of a talk show. Like, literally. This is why you can't even talk to these people. They're literally, they're fucking retarded. They're on the other end of the fucking line. Bro, literally.
And entertain Americans just as...
He has the right to entertain Americans. A congressman says on CNN. This is so crazy. It's insane.
Greg Gutfeld on Fox has a right to be not funny and go on his network and entertain Americans. It's a part of who we are, John, and frankly, it should shake every American that the President of the United States is out there firing comedians who make fun of...
The President didn't fire anyone!
But that is not who we are, and every American should care and stand up to this.
Yeah, so stand up to it. Stand up to it, he says. Fight against it, he says. It's fascism. They're Nazis. They're fighting free speech. Do you know that they said that Donald Trump caused an insurrection to overthrow the government of the United States because he said, quote, fight like hell? Every single one of these people uses stronger language than that. Every single one of them. All of them. Like, this isn't just a double standard anymore. I really feel like it's not like they're hypocrites and they don't realize. I think they know they're liars. And their viewers know they're liars. But they all make believe they're on the right side of history because communism is all about subverting the fucking country in any possible way you can. Even a violent revolution. So I really feel like we're kind of looking at that in real time. Don't worry, Hasan Piker, he can always get a job on Hasan's Twitch after Hasan goes to jail. It's okay, it's all right. So anyway, they keep going, and it's insane.
And maybe he'll come on your show and explain it to you or my show, the No Spin News. He had to know on Monday in his dialogue how raw the country was over this assassination of Charlie Kirk. He had to know that. And to use his monologue, which is usually comedic, to mislead the entire country.
Yep.
By implying that MAGA Trump supporters were really behind the murder. To do that, I'm saying you have a battery of writers, you have a producer on your program. Did no one red flag you on this? Did no one say anything about this? This isn't about censorship, all right? This is about responsibility. And as you pointed out correctly, every corporation has a responsibility to make sure the product it is selling is an honest product.
Yep.
And by saying that MAGA might have been responsible for murder, not only is that defamatory, but it's outrageous.
True. Yeah, no lies detected. He's just completely correct. And, you know, everyone's saying that, I got so many people saying this to me, trying to get me to feel bad for these people. Now, before you celebrate Jimmy Kimmel getting fired for saying vile things about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, remember that there are a lot of regular people employed by a show like that, bookers, writers, producers, and we're celebrating them getting fired too. Guess they backed the wrong horse. Sucks for them, I guess. Don't care. Like, dude, they fucking wrote the script for him. Don't care. Don't care. Sorry, don't care. Do not care. Not even remotely. Get the fuck out. Dude, it's unreal that we need to play this game. And we don't. The truth is we don't. Again, no, don't celebrate Jimmy Kimmel getting fired. All he did was comment on a shooting. Texas judge orders InfoWars liquidation to pay Sandy Hook families $1.5 billion. You know, it's like, dude, every time. All right, so this is Don Lemon having a crash out.
Jimmy Kimmel, they're trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure you've heard the news.
No. No one's trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel got fired for being retarded. That's a very different thing. Trying, first of all, implies that it was unsuccessful, and it was very successful. And also, B, this really had absolutely nothing to do with getting canceled. He was fired for being a retard. It's a different thing.
I know. But I've been going through the internet looking for the clips to see what they're mad or upset about, and I can't find it. These are I can't find it. The one that they have on there, I don't see where that's even controversial.
You don't see why it's controversial that Jimmy Kimmel said that Charlie Kirk was murdered by his own fan instead of correctly saying the reality, which is the fact that there is a left-wing terrorism problem in America and a far left, gay, socialist furry killed him? You don't get it? Do you not get it? Well, now we know why Don Lemon got fired too.
The guy's a comedian. This is a same.
Everyone does the comedian shtick, and it doesn't work anymore. I'm sorry. You lost the right to this argument when it became literal, straight-up propaganda.
Same party, the same group of people who complained about everything is too woke. Comedians can't say anything anymore.
Again, this is not comedy. Like, this is literal, blatant propaganda and misinformation. I don't even care that Jimmy Kimmel's not funny, which he's not. That's not even the point. This wasn't comedy. It wasn't even supposed to be comedy. It was literally just straight up propaganda. This is like me defaming someone. This is like me going on air, pointing at someone, saying that he's a rapist pedophile, he raped me and murdered my dog, and then saying, yo, I'm a comedian, how could you sue me for defamation? That's what you're doing right now.
They're killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about killing comedy.
Again, no one believes this. Here's the craziest part. No one actually even believes these things. I don't even think Lemon over here believes the words that are coming out of his mouth. He just has, like, Democrat dick so far down his throat that he can't say anything else.
Are killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about canceling people are canceling people.
Like it's even remotely the same thing, canceling somebody for saying the N-word on Twitter in 2014, and someone getting fired for being an unlikable hack that has literally been pushing propaganda and lies.
What does that tell you? That they don't...
Well, it tells me that you have zero comprehension of what's going on, or you're a complete liar. Personally, what I think is funny, what I think is funny, is the fact that you have fallen into one of two slots right now, all right? Retard or evil. Those are one of the two places. I don't know which one is true. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not some armchair psychologist. I suppose I'll let my audience decide if you fall into the retard camp or the evil camp. I don't know. You are either running defense for a guy who is slandering the entire MAGA movement for killing their own guy, which is a lie, and running defense for the terrorist that actually did kill him. So that's one option. And that makes you evil. Or you're just retarded. So it's one or the other. Are you an intentional liar or are you incompetent? I don't know. But you know what I do know? I do know that I can't have a discussion with you. I can't. You killed the negotiator and it's over. We've moved past the discussion phase. We now recognize the fact that, you know, there's a chunk of the country that literally wants to kill us.
Anything that they're saying, that they've said, that they have no core. All it is if it doesn't fit their particular ideology or belief, then they don't want to hear it.
Bro, this isn't about ideology or belief. This is literally untrue. Like, he literally lied. He said the shooter was a MAGA guy, which is a literal lie. It was literally a far-left, radicalized, left-wing terrorist. So, this has nothing to do with opinions or things that you don't believe. Like, it's just objectively a lie.
And that's the moment that we're in now. This is a very dangerous and scary moment.
I agree. We recognize the fact that a big chunk of the modern left are literal liars that want to kill you and will celebrate your death. Yep, that's what I noticed. It is a really scary time, and we have to find a way to non-violently destroy them.
This should send a chill or a shiver up every American spine, regardless if they're a Democrat or a Republican. This is some scary shit.
I noticed Don Lemon over here did not make a video like this when Charlie Kirk was murdered, by the way. Jimmy Kimmel getting fired, literal meltdowns. Charlie Kirk gets murdered, nothing to say. Pretty weird.
They want people ratting out people who are saying things that they don't agree with.
Oh, you don't like canceling people anymore? I mean, you've been doing it for years, but now you don't like canceling people?
Saying things that they deem to be negative about.
This had nothing to do with being subjectively deemed as negative. This was a direct lie and propaganda running defense for a terrorist.
The sad and tragic death of Charlie Kirk. That's like, to me, it reminds me of back in the day when you had to like rat people out because you believe that they belong to a certain political party.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Calling out Jimmy Kimmel is like being a Nazi. Like, what are we doing?
I thought America was beyond that. I guess we're going back to that time now.
Maybe we should. I don't know. Clearly, we have a problem in the country. So, this guy, this individual, we got receipts, just dropped a video, which is essentially like a compilation of meltdowns, a meltdown compilation. So, I wanted to show you first of all the retards trying their absolute best to talk about how afraid they are, fear-mongering about how Trump is clamping down on freedom of speech. We literally can't even say our opinions anymore in public, guys. We're so afraid, they say, as they give their opinions, right? Like, that's the funniest fucking part of it all. Now, here's the greatest part. Yeah. Firing Jimmy Kimmel is the same as Jews hiding in attics from the Nazis, according to the left. Yep.
ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely.
ABC is pulling Jimmy Kimmel live indefinitely.
Let's go, Elbozo, don't care. Go fucking, I don't know, drink yourself to a stupor, brother. Don't care.
Kimmel was going nuclear over this. He's furious.
This is just
Uh-oh, well, that sucks for you, I guess.
despicable, disgusting.
I'll drink to that.
Y'all cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I gotta leave this country.
The folks who are
You're gonna leave the country because Jimmy Kimmel got fired for being retarded?
complaining about canceling people are canceling people.
The same people that bitched and complained about freedom of speech.
Lady, what do you care? What do you care about freedom of speech, huh? What do you care about freedom of speech? Come on. You gotta worry about fucking eating salad, bro. You gotta worry about salad. You don't need to worry about freedom of speech. Bro, this lady gets fucking jump scared by a treadmill and she's gonna tell us about freedom of speach.
And cancel culture.
Donald Trump is coming. I love when everyone does that. It's like, you said that cancel culture was bad and now you're doing cancel culture? Everyone thinks it's an actual gotcha. Like, these are even remotely the same circumstances.
For our rights. It's more than half of this country voted for the criminal, still trying to figure out what happened.
It is outrageous. It's a page right out of Xi's playbook. This is just despicable, disgusting, and against democratic values. Trump and his allies seem to want to shut down speech that they don't like to hear.
Like, here's the thing. Do you actually think these people believe what they're saying? Like, do you think they actually even believe what they're saying? Because, like, this is obviously not the case. Like, anyone that understands anything about reality knows we're not living in it. See, here's the thing. If you think that there's more than two genders, I've decided your opinion means nothing because you're not living in the same reality as I am. You are living in your own simulacrum of reality. If we can't bridge that gap, I don't actually care what you have to say. All right? You just don't know what words mean at this point. Okay? All right? Words don't mean anything when they come out of your mouth. Right, listen, I'm not trying to dehumanize you. I'm trying to say that you're retarded.
That is not what democracies do. That is what autocracies do.
I can't believe that he was fired for being retarded.
And it doesn't matter whether you agree with Kimmel or not. He has the right to...
Decoy voice in my chat. I trust anime avatars more than CNN. That's what I'm talking about. I am the media now.
To free speech. And so it is just outrageous, and I am just outraged by it.
It's outrageous, and he's outraged because it's outrageous that a retard was fired for being retarded.
So if Jimmy Kimmel being fired for lying about the Charlie Kirk shooter is fascism, then what would Chuck Schumer say about Tucker Carlson being fired for telling the truth about January 6th?
Rupert Murdoch has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
So you're all for fascism when you're doing it, huh? See, I think that's pretty crazy.
This is a red line that has been crossed for our industry, for the First Amendment, for the right of people to speak. There was nothing hateful.
The funniest thing is this has nothing to do with the First Amendment. Like, every single person that says this, I think they know it, and they're talking to, like, the retards that actually watch the news. Like, that has to be it. Like, for me, the most confusing part is, how is it possible that these people manage to get through life being this stupid? Unless they're not actually this stupid, they know they're lying, but they know they have to play the fucking game where they act like the monkeys in the circus, because they're talking to retards that are actually watching the news.
About what was said, and even hateful speech is protected. This is not acceptable. Yeah. If you are going to run a media organization that's called a news organization, you have to stand up to government bullying anywhere in the world, and certainly in the United States.
Dude, first of all, this also has nothing to do with the government. That's the craziest part. It literally has nothing to do with the government. Bro got fired from by Disney. Disney and ABC fired this guy. It has nothing to do with the government. Like, it's insane that we're even playing this game. So first of all, I think you should boycott Disney. All right, get Disney to be less woke. We'll let them have Jimmy Kimmel back. All right. If Disney fixes Star Wars, if they make a really fucking manly Star Wars, or like a proper adaptation of Warhammer 40K or some shit. All right, you know what? We'll let them take Jimmy back. All right, we'll let them have it back. Until then, absolutely not.
Well, the job should be to, speak truth to power, even when there are people who don't like the word truth anymore.
Bro, he literally got fired for lying. We should speak truth to power. Bro literally got fired for lying. This is unbelievable.
So let me get this straight. The same people who invented misinformation, and don't forget its close cousin, disinformation, to censor millions of Americans trying to get to the bottom of the COVID situation, are suddenly saying it's okay to push outright lies on national television?
Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah, I already saw this retard going off. All right, we'll skip this one. All right.
Track there.
With the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Wow, no one's laughing, and it sounds pretty serious.
Well, it almost sounds like it's not comedy, because it's not.
To Democrats to not even be able to recognize humor.
You live in New York?
Who are you? Don Lemon. You're a fucking moron.
Based. That's crazy.
Roasted.
I never saw that clip. That's amazing.
Got him.
The news about Jimmy Kimmel, I think, is a pretty watershed moment. I think we all...
A watershed moment! Charlie Kirk gets murdered. These people, well, that sucks, I guess. Jimmy Kimmel gets fired for being retarded. Watershed moment.
Need to be talking about. We actually, and it's not just a media story. I know you agree with me on this. It's not just a media story. It's a democracy story. It's a freedom of speech story. It's so many things. And I've been thinking a lot today about how I lived through years of answering questions from a lot of these network journalists, people who ask tough questions. Sometimes I was pissed off at them. That's part of what we do. And this is threatening that.
Suddenly uttering falsehoods is a freedom of speech issue? Where have these people been?
Dude, they've also, he was fired. He was fired. This is not freedom of speech. He's not in jail, okay? They didn't arrest him, all right?
And for the last 10 years. Remember this photoshopped lady the Democrats hired to appeal to...
Bro, what the fuck is this? Why do they all look like this?
Young men.
The same people that bitched and complained for the last decade about freedom of speech and cancel culture just got Jimmy Kimmel's very successful late...
So here's the funny thing. When I talk to people on the right, I explain the obvious difference between the left-wing cancel culture and what the left calls right-wing cancel culture. I explain the difference to people on the right because obviously there is a difference. I do believe that the people on the left literally do it for control. They lie to control you, and they try to ruin your life to control you, control your speech. You misgender somebody, they will ruin your life because they want to control you. And people on the right are literally doing it because this person's a fucking propagandist retard. Absolutely, we need to destroy him. So again, that's when I talk to people on the right. When I talk to people on the left, I say, fuck you, retard, eat shit, elbozo, pack watch. That's what I say to people on the left, because that's what they deserve.
Night show completely taken off the air indefinitely because he said something that they didn't like. At the same time...
A lie. Any person that's running defense for... Okay, if you want to say Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't get fired for this, whatever, that's your opinion. If you're saying that he got fired for something people didn't like, you are part of the problem and you should lose your job as well. And people should also be calling these people employers to get them fired because these people are also de facto running defense for left-wing terrorism in the United States. So, in my opinion, this is literally the same shit. You're just kicking the fucking can down the road.
That's been going on. The president of the United States has been filing defamation lawsuits against major media.
Are you retarded? Defamation is not free speech. Holy fucking shitballs. Holy sack of gobblecocks. Like, these people are like inbred retards, all of them. It's amazing. Using the legal system is fascism now. Thanks, Gorlock.
Outlets to the point that they just settle so that they don't have to have it drawn out in court. If you think...
Yeah, because they fucking they know they'll lose. What do you mean? You don't think defamation should exist? You think the fact that there are defamation laws, you think that violates free speech? Holy shit, dude. It's crazy.
That freedom of speech is
Do you think I have the right to call you a pedophile and ruin your life? Do you think I have the right to do that because of freedom of speech?
protected in America right now? You are not paying attention.
Yeah, we're all paying attention. You're retarded.
When you actually listen to Jimmy Kimmel's comments,
I love this guy. He's like always wrong. I've never seen him like actually make a good point.
Which I posted on my page, you can see that they are very mild. He's not even making fun of Charlie Kirk. He's making fun of Donald Trump. These executives know that Jimmy Kimmel did not say anything outrageous, yet they are bending the knee to Donald Trump because they're scared of him. They're scared of retaliation.
Well, that just means that they're pussies, okay? That means that they are pussies for firing him then. If they're scared of retaliation, that means Trump didn't actually do anything and they're just cowards.
Having licenses pulled. Two things are clear from this story. Number one, these big companies are not going to protect us. Independent media is more important than ever. But number two...
Agreed. Fuck mainstream media. I'm totally with you, Harry Pissin. We're on the same side.
Two, Donald Trump is coming for our rights.
Nope, never mind. You're retarded. Nope, sorry. Gave you too much credit for like a half a second. You're retarded.
Not a hypothetical. It's not something that might happen in the future.
Yeah, it's not
happening right now.
All right, what rights have you lost? How many rights have you lost? Like, come on, dude. What are we doing? How many rights have you lost? I mean, you're literally making this TikTok. So it's obviously not free speech issue. Right? You obviously still have free speech because you're making this TikTok right now. So what rights did you lose?
Before our very eyes.
Just like his buddy Jen Psaki, they make zero mention of Jimmy Kimmel lying about the shooter and saying the shooter was MAGA when the Charlie Kirk shooter was a deranged pro-trans leftist.
Yeah. I don't know what he said. I don't care what he said. I don't know or care what he said. He's a fucking comedian.
And this is why we don't get opinions from specific people on TikTok, I guess.
He's a fucking comedian.
Right.
You're supposed to be able to say whatever you want. How can y'all cancel Jimmy Kimmel? I gotta leave this country. What in the fuck is...
Okay, honestly, I agree. You make a good point. You should leave this country. Honestly, I wasn't with you, but now I am. Like, I didn't see it your way, but now I do see it your way, actually.
Going on. Who cares? I don't care. I don't know what he said. I don't care what he said. He is a comedian. He is a comedian. So y'all gonna take anything he said serious?
That's crazy. Can't even believe it. Literally shocked.
Enough to where ABC cancels Jimmy Kimmel.
I love how liberals are finally realizing that comedians can be canceled. You guys are about...
Bro, dude, you fucking cancel comedians all the time. Like, that's the craziest part. You cancel comedians all the time. Every fucking comedian you went after, bro, it's over. The game is over. It's like, we're tired, and it's over. Oh my God, there's more and more of them. David Pakman. One of the hallmarks of authoritarianism is to terrify people into self-censorship. ABC ending Kimmel's show is the perfect example of this. Anyway, David Pakman also said, big win in the battle of ideas and free speech. Roseanne said what she wanted to say. ABC made the business decisions that were right for them to fire her. Yeah, I say the same thing about ABC. They did the business decisions that they needed to fire complete retard Jimmy Kimmel. Really glad we're on the same page. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Every single one of them. Every single guy. All of them. Every one of them.
But 9 years too late. But I guess it's the thought that counts. Of course, the former Biden-nominated FCC commissioner says that Jimmy Kimmel made, quote, no unfounded claims.
But I understand Jimmy Kimmel is a satirist and a comedian. I saw the clip. He did not make any unfounded claims, but he did.
He didn't make any unfounded claims. Dude, they're literally living in another universe. Like, these people, they're just talking to, like, their echo chamber, riling them up and getting them scared. And, in my opinion, convincing them that they need to kill us. Like, think about it. If you are a libtard, 30-year-old single lady, all right, and you're watching this shit constantly, and this is what the algorithm is showing you, all right, does that not kind of justify murdering us, right? Like, think about it. Like, we're stealing your rights, and your rights are in danger. You can't even speak. It's fascism, authoritarianism. He didn't even say anything wrong. Like, think about how insane this is.
Did make a joke.
Except the literally false claim about the shooter, which has no foundation in reality.
You know, Scott Jennings, you were at this table last night, and you defended free speech. Tonight, we are seeing the FCC chairman explicitly threatening a company over speech that they don't like.
Dude, it's
You're
not
good with
speech
it?
they don't like. It is so insane, man.
Or not.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's still free to speak. He just isn't necessarily free to do it on ABC, which...
Literally based as fuck. He literally fucking killed them. This is not free speech. He can still speak. He's not in jail.
Obviously made a business decision. I see everybody rushing to blame the administration for this tonight. But you had Nexstar, which owns a bunch of ABC affiliates, and Sinclair Group, which owns a bunch of ABC affiliates, saying they were mad about what he did. I'm sure it generated massive numbers of viewer complaints into the affiliates. A smart TV.
You're welcome. We're the viewer complaints. Thank you for taking our call.
The person said the only thing you can't do in TV is piss off the affiliates. And I think that's what they did.
So then why did Brendan Carr have to say, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way? And then he went on to say that they can either censor Jimmy Kimmel or the FCC will have more work to do. And as you may know, Nexstar has business before the FCC. They have a deal to purchase another TV group, Tenga, for $6.2 billion. In order to do that, they need Brendan Carr to say, yes, you may own more TV stations than is legally allowed right now. So there's...
Remember when Trump voters were using free speech arguments to prevent being purged from social media websites, and all these liberals were saying, you don't have the right to the First Amendment. It's a private corporation. Are you really surprised that they forgot that?
Nexstar already owns lots of TV stations. It wants to merge with Tegna, which owns lots of other stations. In order to do that, it needs Brendan Carr, the FCC, permission, and it actually needs the FCC to change the regulations entirely about how many stations an individual company can own. So Nexstar has all of this pending business before the government. Tegna also does, and there's another big station owner called Sinclair that also has business pending before the government.
It's crazy
so
that
what
this
do we
is
know
like an
tonight?
argument.
We know that both Nexstar and Sinclair called up ABC this afternoon.
You know the craziest part? These people, unironically, sound exactly. They sound exactly like the conspiracy theorists on the right that they've been shitting on for years. They're like, and this company has someone that knows that company, and this company wants to collaborate with this company, and that company is attached to this guy who's connected to Jeff Bezos, who knows Peter Thiel. An anagram of Peter Thiel is the reptile. Peter Thiel knows J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is the vice president under Trump. Trump is literally a dictator. He controls it all. Like, that's the shit that I'm listening to right now.
Complained about Kimmel and said they were yanking the show off their stations. ABC subsequently yanked the show nationwide. So we know that two major TV station owners, both of which need to curry favor with the Trump administration.
Let's think about this through. Let's think about this through for a second. The media is owned by the Jews. The Jews are, related to Israel. Israel has the Mossad. The Mossad, all right, the Mossad obviously liked Charlie Kirk, unless you watch Candace Owens. Well, but that means you're retarded for a whole other issue. The Mossad like Charlie Kirk, so maybe the Mossad forced ABC, owned by the Jews, to fire Jimmy Kimmel for shitting on Charlie Kirk. Maybe the Mossad did. I think we could blame this on the Jews, guys. I think we could blame this on the Jews. Leave a like if you want to blame it on the Jews.
Were the ones that most loudly and vocally condemned Kimmel and said they were going to not air the show tonight and in the coming nights.
Yeah.
It's an Occam's razor situation. It's exactly what it looks like.
Suddenly, they're all making the same argument about the incoming merger. Don't get me started on the Citigroup.
It's like, dude, a far leftist murders Charlie Kirk. They all say it's probably a MAGA guy. That's the conclusion they've all come to. But here,
Travelers merger in 1999, which violated the Glass-Steagall Act and contributed to the 2008 Great Recession. Both CEOs at the time were massive Clinton donors.
Wow.
And do we really think Obama has the high ground here after the NBC-Comcast merger, where, again, both CEOs were major bundlers for the Democrat Party?
Trump vowed retribution on the campaign trail, and he's getting it. He's getting it against entertainers and comedians. But Aaron, for every reaction, there is a counter-reaction. Stephen Colbert has already been joking about getting hired somewhere else. Those jokes mask a very real intent.
No, actually, that's great. Go get a job somewhere else. Maybe McDonald's. Have you considered McDonald's, Stephen Colbert? I'm sure it would make some random people really excited.
Right? Where will he get picked up instead? If Kimmel parts ways with ABC, and again, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Kimmel's contract is coming due soon. Kimmel will probably end up somewhere else. And if big, old-fashioned media
the fries in the bag.
don't have the guts to employ these people, then we're going to see startups start to flourish. You know, we talk about the Substack era with people launching newsletters and live streams on YouTube. We're going to see more of that.
Oh my God, live streams. videos on YouTube, maybe even. I love these people. They're actually retarded.
If these old-fashioned media companies can't stand a little bit of pressure from the
Bro, if you don't include people watching CNN in airports, I personally, random blue retard on the internet, get more viewers than CNN. Like that's the level of retard shit that we're dealing with. So yeah, I do think it's happening, man.
President.
Yeah, well,
Gotta love how Brian Stelter is acting like Jimmy Kimmel has this massive following like Joe Rogan and is suffering from institutional censorship. Please.
Oh my God, I can't believe the institution is dude, literally, this is so retarded, it's insane.
Kimmel had been slipping in ratings to shows like...
No, people don't get the reference apparently, but you're not aware that CNN gets the majority of its viewership from randos in airports because they all play CNN. This is a true fact. This is an actual fact. The majority of CNN viewership is people in airports. True story.
Gutfeld, despite ABC being basic cable and easier to access.
Apparently, the Daily Mail is reporting that Kimmel was going nuclear over this. He's furious, Raymond. He's PO'd over the decision to suspend him, and now he's not taking it lightly, and this is the last straw for Jimmy. This is the last straw.
Oh no, it's the last straw for Jimmy. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Oh my God. Well, he's probably gonna go nuclear on his next episode. Oh wait. Never mind. He was actually fired. There is no next episode actually. Oh, that's rough, buddy.
Yeah, he said he already has a new job, and it's lit a fire apparently. Already has.
Well, I spoke to people close to that show over the summer. They told me they were looking for another host then. This seems like it was convenient on ABC.
Yo, I don't know. That's amazing, bro. That's cinema. Oh, they wanted to fire you for a while, you bitch. That's right.
To sort of move them aside. But like so many of these guys, they had a John to decide to follow. Instead of John Carson, they followed Jon Stewart. It is ratings oblivion, and here we are.
These people lost the crowd a long time ago. Good luck with your podcast, Jimmy. Now let's take a trip down memory lane and recall how Jimmy Kimmel and others acted after Tucker Carlson was fired by Fox News for, let's just say, being too honest about January 6th.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go?
I have the same question for you. Where are you going to go next? I have a feeling that you will not be even remotely as successful as Tucker Carlson, but hey, let's see.
OAN, will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
Tucker Carlson is out
Dude,
at
I
Fox
love it, man.
News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country, I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled, and then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something.
This is great, dude. Look at these people.
But
they're trying so hard.
Deplatforming works, and it is important.
Deplatforming does work, and it is important, unless it happens to our people. When it happens to our people, it's fascism. When it happens to their people, it works.
And there you go. Good things can happen.
And where were the libs before when the Biden administration was forcing social media companies to remove things that were true?
They pushed us super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, you know, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects.
It sounds like fascism to me, guys. It sounds like fascism.
You basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. I think these people from the Biden administration would call up our team
Hello,
and like,
fellow humans.
scream at them and curse, and it's like,
Wow, Kimmel's such a champion of free speech.
Well,
all
it
this
sounds to me like fascism.
sudden basically called for people who are skeptical about the vaccine to not receive ICU beds.
Bro, not even skeptical. Not even skeptical. That's not even good faith. Mentioning that vaccines have side effects, which they obviously do.
i.e. to die.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Yeah, sounds to me like you would like these people to die. Interesting.
And this is too good. Jasmine Crockett is so upset. She says Jimmy Kimmel hurts MAGA's feelings by holding a mirror up. So doubling down on his lie about the shooter, and then goes on a bizarre rant about how a Fox News anchor is to blame for crime at a homeless encampment thousands of miles away. Presidential hopeful and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker just said the usual BS about democracy and freedom.
Dude, the buzzwords are over. The discussion has ended. I think they don't realize how badly they've lost the cultural interest. Okay? The guy that wanted to talk to you, you killed and celebrated his death. I don't think you realize how little we fucking care about what you have to say. Like, I have less than 0 fucks to give you. I have never given less of a fuck about anything in my entire life than your opinion. Like, do you not realize how crazy it is? I said something similar on Twitter. On Twitter, I said, imagine screaming about fascism because the retard propagandist used to fire an innocent man, used the murder of an innocent man to push an agenda, got fired. Remember, they will celebrate your death publicly on social media, but firing a retard is fascism. A man gets murdered in front of him, and he lies about him, of course, obviously. Imagine living in a fake reality where you supported Twitter banning Donald Trump, the president of the United States, but you're crashing out over the firing of a man who had it coming for a decade. I have 0 fucks to give you. Cry more. And I got this response. Great response. You are a fascist sympathizer, and this is literally the way I'm engaging with these people. Did you not get the memo? Did you not get the memo? Your words mean nothing. Like, did you not get the memo? Wait, you still think I have any interest in what you have to say? I'm sorry. No, you missed it. You missed the boat. Sorry, bro. You missed the boat. You canceled me for saying retard. Okay? There were fucking movements trying to get me banned from YouTube for saying the word retard. Like, we're not even in the same universe.
But also implied that a comedian was being canceled for a joke, which again is something they did to us. Jimmy Kimmel in this case is being fired for spreading a lie about the Charlie Kirk shooter. A terrible lie which could have...
Dude, it's like the joke argument is hilarious. You know, Hasan Piker does the same thing, by the way, for the record, in case you were curious. Hasan Piker just recently kind of went viral. He's a far left fuck. He recently went viral. He recently went pretty viral because there's a clip of him where he's saying that murder landlords and you want to gut Republicans in the streets so that their guts could be falling onto the sidewalk. Like, he had this like really disgusting incitement of violence, which is why he's going to be going to jail. So anyway, they ended up getting him on the news, and they asked him on ABC News this exact question, and they gave him a softball interview. All right, but this is what he had to say.
Your own rhetoric. I noticed that Elon Musk has been posting about you.
Yes.
And I don't know the context of these particular statements, but here's a quote from you about landlords who don't want to rent out their properties. You said, kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. Doesn't that make you part of the problem with violent discourse?
I'll answer before he does. Yes, and he should go to jail. Let's see what he has to say.
This was in a conversation that I was having with a landlord friend of mine, and it's, of course, hyperbolic, and it's not meant to be sincere.
When I told my audience, kill Rick Scott, it was a joke. When I told my audience, kill landlords, it was a joke. It was just hyperbole. I'm very excited for him to explain the comedy to a judge. I'm sure the judge is going to hear Hasan Piker, sniffing. Actually, Your Honor, when I said kill the judge, I was kidding. Lol.
It's not sincere advocacy. It's not a real...
This doesn't matter, by the way, for the record. This doesn't matter. This is like me telling my audience, and for the record, disclaimer, I'm not saying this. I don't want any violence. I always say no violence, all right? We will fucking win this culturally. We do not need violence and don't want violence. Disclaimer. But if I were to tell my audience, go kill Hasan Piker without any disclaimers without any context, without any indication that I'm joking, you really don't think that that's going to be maybe interpreted badly? I'd immediately be deplatformed. This guy has the fucking mob of retards and terrorists on his side.
Policy that I would ever advocate for. And that's precisely the reason why when Republicans were desperately looking for any sort of incisive language that they could present, they went back to a very obvious instance of LARPing.
Yeah, he was LARPing when he told his audience to murder landlords. And it's also not going back. You do it fucking all the time. We don't, again, this is why you can't even have these discussions with these people, because they're all disingenuous, lying, retard bitches, and he's going to be in jail, and it's going to be great. I, in fact, talked to a congressman about it. So, hey, we'll see what happens.
Real world consequences. And then actual comedian Roseanne Barr dropped this absolutely savage tweet tonight. She said, yeah, imagine an administration putting pressure on a television channel to fire a comedian they didn't like. Roseanne Barr was fired from her own show, Roseanne, just because people found out she voted for Trump and she made a politically incorrect joke about one of Obama's close buddies, Valerie Jarrett. Yes, she was canceled for making an actual joke.
That's
and
right.
so you've got MSNBC cranks like Chris Hayes basically echoing that line that a comedian was canceled for comedy. They're really trying to use the exact same bullshit that happened to us, that actually happened to us. They're pretending it's happening to them.
That's the craziest part. They're like, dude, we're in entire different worlds here.
People do you think are gonna fall for this? My money's on not that many. And of course
my money's on the retarded losers on TikTok.
Got the big guy,
Dude, I love this tweet,
DJT,
man.
coming through saying great
news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel had a zero talent and had worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers. On fake news NBC, their ratings are also horrible. They're gay, lesbians, and retarded. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it. We've all seen how gay and retarded they actually are. I've seen him 6 inches into his body, and they made believe that none of this was happening. I saw it. We all know it. Do it, NBC. President DGT, thank you for your attention to this matter.
News for America, the ratings challenge.
I embellished that one a little bit, but that was pretty much the spirit of what he was saying.
Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, too.
Rose's career more destroyed than Iran's nuclear facilities, and we did a wonderful job there.
Total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are horrible. Do it, NBC.
Mr. President, that was aggressive. No, I think I love that he tweets like this, man. Again, they got him banned from Twitter. Fuck him.
President
Fuck
DJT,
these people.
he's of course commenting on how these people have been kept afloat artificially while having absolutely garbage ratings for so many years because they're essentially the media arm of the failing Democrat Party. All I can say is good riddance.
You little snowflake. What a blowhard. He's a blowhard and a snowflake. He's a blowflake is what he is.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You love to see it. You love to see it. Love that. Holy shit-a-moly. Yeah, anyway, I wanted to show you a clip from Charlie Kirk that I saw. I think it's very appropriate. Again, this is the person that Jimmy Kimmel was making fun of, and this is why it's not just cancel culture that he made an insensitive joke. That literally is not it at all, okay? It has nothing to do with an insensitive joke. The insensitivity has nothing to do with it. This is why this is an important conversation.
My fear, Senator, and I hope I'm wrong, and let's say stay in prayer that I'm wrong, that someone is going to get shot the same way that Steve Scalise got shot, and God forbid, killed. The left is creating a pressure cooker with so many of their rank and file paramilitary troops that very well might result in one of us getting shot or killed. God forbid that happens. We're getting death threats every single day here on the Charlie Kirk Show.
This is why it's an important conversation. And every time somebody decides to push propaganda and push us away from the discussion that there is a radical left terrorist movement in our country, you are part of the problem, and you need to be destroyed. Non-violently, but you need to be obliterated. Absolutely. You are making an environment in this country that, honestly, we cannot deal with anymore. We can't lose more people. We already lost a titan of our time. And honestly, Like, it's such an unbelievably tragic thing that we had to live through for no reason. All right, it could have been avoided, right? But unfortunately, it was not. It could have. It wasn't. He warned us. He warned us. This guy warned us. You didn't take him seriously. He was killed for it. He was killed for freedom of speech. Every single person that is complaining about freedom of speech, but didn't care about freedom of speech when Charlie Kirk was literally murdered. Literally, all of you are enemies of America, and you are evil. This isn't about politics at all. This has nothing to do with politics. I don't care about policies at this point. I care about good and evil. And quite frankly, all of you people that are pushing these fucking rat bastard ideologies to convince your fucking hoodlum gang of mentally ill retards, convincing all of those to kill us and celebrate our deaths, literally, fuck yourself. It's over. This is not the time for discourse, not the time for debunking. It's over. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And we will fight you to the end. Non-violently, of course. But you have to be destroyed. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.